Hi. Have you ever been to a craft fair or anything like that and seen customized keychains, coasters, or those tumblers that you drink out of that have the glitter and the names and it's all personalized? And you were told that was homemade, but you don't know how they made it? Chances are that the object in question was created with epoxy resin, which is also called cast in resin. Um, with the proper safety precautions, epoxy resin can be used as a form of art. There are two types of resin that are used for art type forms, and they both come out as a liquid and harden when either mixed with a hardener or sunlight or UV for it to cure. In order for it to cure means for it to harden. Um, Epoxy resin needs to be mixed in two parts to create a chemical reaction that makes it harden, or as it is called, a cure. As explained in the link resinobsessed.com, UV resin is cured by UV rays from a nail lamp or the sunlight. When using UV resin, the person using it must try to work indoors, not in the sunlight, until it is ready to be hardened. The easiest way to create UV resin art is to work in a well ventilated room with normal lighting or better lighting, I should say, but as long as it's not UV. After it's ready to be hardened, you put it under the nail lamp until it's almost done to ensure that it is fully cured. Put it in the sunlight for at least an hour. So if it's a nice day outside with no rain, you can just go put it out under the sun rays. If it is raining and it's a sunny day, it can still cure in the sun rays. And it has to be in the sunlight for at least an hour. While it makes great works of art, resin must be used with caution. You must have the protective gear when using. Now, during this coronavirus thing, masks are hard to come by. The gloves that we use, the nitrile gloves for resin, are hard to come by as well. So DIYcraftclub.com will explain in detail what kind of precautions that need to be taken while using this as an art medium for resin. Because not everyone gets a reaction right away. Some people use protection for years and never get a reaction. Some people never use protection and get a reaction, 10 years down the line. So preferably, you should always protect yourself. Now, nitrile gloves and long sleeves should be worn to protect from a chemical reaction. As I said before, the gloves are hard to find right now, so getting finger cots is another alternative to that at this time. A proper mask must be worn during the mixing, pouring, and curing processes so that the lungs are protected from the toxic vapors that get released into the air as that is going on. The mask bought for safety must include a VOC filter, which means volatile organic compounds. Typically, a spray painter's mask is what one would use for this kind of crafting. The lungs are very important and should not be overlooked in safety, since they cannot be replaced. Eye protection, such as using goggles, is a great idea during the pouring process when you are putting it into the mold so that it doesn't splatter, especially if you have to look at it really closely. Once everything is gathered and safety is first, it's time to decide what your project will be. If you can't figure out what your project is, but you want to get inspired, I suggest you search Pinterest, Instagram, or YouTube for any type of resin art ideas. Many searches will bring up jewelry made with resin. Some specialties of resin art are preserving flowers, even capturing loved ones' ashes. To each their own. Resin can be applied to ceramic tiles, wood, canvas, and even burlap or anything like that to make a unique art and crafts. So that means that resin is very versatile. You can add pigments, glitter, glow powder, sprinkles, and all sorts of things that you want to do to make it your own. Working with resin is fun. Being able to add almost anything to it or put anything in it is one of the coolest things in the world. The possibilities are endless with resin. You can create almost anything. While it is not a cheap hobby, it is very satisfying and therapeutic when done correctly and safely. So I made one out of resin wire. Not all artists I highly suggest watching artists on YouTube to see if it's something you would want to try. If you end up wanting to try it, I suggest you buy a starter kit from Amazon that already has everything that you need. While the type of mask needed is not effective for keeping away the coronavirus, the masks are still hard to find. So not having a mask will cause you to have to use the epoxy resin outside, but I still would not recommend using this without a mask because you have to, it's better safe than sorry. And that is all. Thank you.